everyone, I'm Nicole Guillaume with Guiding Echoes, the channel that is devoted to your spiritual and personal growth. Now, as a psychic medium, I have the unique opportunity to listen in on the conversations that take place between the living and those who have passed on. And I wanted to share with you the two main things that people regret once they have crossed over. And what's interesting is that the regret that they have once they've actually passed on is different from the regret they may have while they're on their deathbed. You know, when people are aware that they're dying, they start to regret that they didn't take the vacation that they wanted to go on, or they didn't finish these different projects at work. You know, they have all these different things that they're worried about. But once you actually cross over, the regrets are vastly different. So in this video, I just wanted to explain to you the two different regrets that you might have once you cross over. And if you know what they are, you can take the appropriate measures to make sure that you don't cross over with that regret, that you take action now so that this isn't even a blip on your radar when you get over there. The most common regret has to do with relationships. Now, of course, this can show up in many different ways. But essentially what happens is when people cross over, they are regretful that they didn't spend more time with the people who were important to them. And they also feel regret that they didn't apologize to the people that they know they should have apologized to. They feel remorse that they didn't mend the relationships that were important to them. And I see this happen with people who have crossed over and they have ex-spouses. You know, they'll have had an ex-wife or an ex-husband who they know that they wronged. And while they were here on earth, it was so important for them to keep their good guy image or their good girl image. And even though they know that they were essentially the reason that relationship ended up in such demise, well, they continue to make it seem as if they themselves were innocent, while all the while knowing they really hurt these other people. And that's something that is hard for them to let go of once they've crossed over. So even while they're in heaven, even when they're with their other family members and friends who they truly love, they can still have this regret that they did this horrible thing to this person and they never apologized for it. They never expressed any actions to show that they were wrong, that they should have done things better. The other thing that people regret regarding the relationships is, of course, the time that they spent on things that didn't matter. So instead of spending time with their kids, instead of spending time with their wife or their husband or their friends, they were too busy playing video games. They were working overtime in the office. And at the time, these seem like reasonable things to do, right? You get bored, you need a break from the world around you, so you tune out and you watch TV, or you play your video games. And while these things are okay if they're minimized, they can be destroying if you're spending too much time on them, because obviously that's not healthy either. So people regret the actions that they didn't take to make those relationships better, because what they'll also see is once they crossed over, they'll see how the people they've left behind are in ruins because they didn't get to spend more time with the person who's crossed over. You know, they didn't get to go on that vacation with the person they loved, or they didn't take more walks, and they didn't talk about their day. They didn't go out to dinner more. You know, that person is gone now. So the person left behind is grieving not only the loss of that person, but the loss of the time that they can never get back. And so the person on the other side sees all this, and they start to feel that same regret and remorse too. So that said, I would like to encourage you to think about anyone in your life who you've been neglecting, or anyone in your life who you have maybe shut out, who you're not talking to anymore, and you would like to make amends with. I would highly encourage you to consider how you can spend more time with the people that are precious to you, and in what way can you extend an olive branch to the person who you're no longer speaking to. This could be a parent, it could be an ex, it could be one of your kids, it could be anybody really. But if there's someone who's been on your thoughts, or there's someone who's been in your mind, and you really miss that person and you want to see how they're doing, you would love to rekindle the friendship, do it. Don't let pride, don't let the past hold you back from that, because that is a regret that you can and probably will take with you when you cross over. And once you cross over, it's hard to get that message across. You can reach out to a medium like myself. You can send signs. You can have a dream visitation. And the problem with all of these things is that people always second guess the messages they get from spirit. I'm a medium, so I know it happens all the time. I will give messages to people and everything will be validated. It'll be on point. I will give evidence that I couldn't have possibly known. Evidence that I couldn't have Googled or whatnot. And 5 days later, I'll have an email from someone saying, I'm still not sure that you made the connection to the right person. Like, I'm still not sure what this meant. I'm still not sure if they're really sorry. So it's hard, you know, once you cross over, and even if you successfully get those messages across, it's hard because it doesn't seem as if it's coming from you directly, right? When you cross over, you can't materialize in front of the person you wronged and say through your voice, with your voice, and look at them through your eyes, I'm sorry, I messed up. Can you forgive me? Can we start again? That chance is over. So make use of that now, okay? The second thing that people regret is not following their life purpose. This is a big one. And everyone has a different purpose, right? Well, let me back up. Everyone has different purposes. I don't believe there's one life purpose. I believe that we come to this earth with several of them. And some of them are going to seem smaller in comparison, but others are going to be big. For example, I think one of our life purposes for all of us is to be kind and compassionate to one another. That's a purpose. It's a purpose because it serves a purpose. When we are empathetic to other people, they know they're not alone. And when we are encouraging to other people, they can be their best. When we can inspire, when we can motivate, we can really push people in a positive way to be the best person that they can be, because they know that someone has their back. They know someone believes in them. So that's a common life purpose that we all have. If we all practiced that with one another, man, imagine how amazing this world would be. I don't think we would have as much chaos and heartache and world issues as we have now if we could just be nice to each other and encourage and inspire each other. That would truly be an amazing world to live in. But then we also have our unique life purposes. My life purpose is working with the spirit world. It's teaching Reiki. It's teaching psychic mediumship. It's being a teacher. It's being a spiritual teacher so that I can help people open their eyes to spiritual things too and help them to open their awareness. So for me, that's something that gives value and meaning to my life. And if I were to get a job doing something other than that, I would cross over and I would think to myself, oh man, look at all the lives I could have touched but didn't. Look at the passion that I had for this very important work, but I didn't follow it. You know, and I would see, once you cross over, you can see the opportunities that you missed out on. You can see the role you were supposed to play on earth and how that was supposed to take place versus what you actually did. When you cross over, you see how your actions affected not only yourself and the different outcomes in your life, but how you affected other people, how you affected their lives, how you impacted them, and you get to see the butterfly effect or the ripple effect. So that's the other thing that most people will carry regrets about, is that they didn't live their purpose. They didn't listen to that calling in their heart because maybe it seemed too hard, or they just didn't know if they could make a living doing it, or it didn't feel safe, or whatever it is. But here's the truth. When you follow your heart, when you follow your life purpose, it's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and tell you otherwise because I would be lying. It's not easy to follow your heart and to go against the grain, especially when society is telling you to be or do something else. It's not easy. But you know what it is? it is fulfilling, it is meaningful, it is passionate, it is purposeful. So you want to live that life of purpose, not just for yourself, but for the other people that are going to value your work, those people that you haven't met yet. Because when we are able to stand out from the crowd, when we are able to follow our heart's desires, we become a hero. We become a hero to the people who need us. We become heroes even to ourselves. We can become inspirations to people we haven't even met, and that's a very beautiful and wonderful thing. The world needs more heroes, and heroes are the people who follow their heart and act with empathy and kindness and compassion towards other people. So really think about that. Think about what your purpose is. And your purpose may not be the same as your hobby. Like for some people, they love to play video games. That's their hobby. It's not their purpose. Your purpose is that thing that lights a fire under you, that gets you excited, but also motivates you to somehow change the world, or at least affect the world in some way. So it has to have those two things. It has to have something you're passionate about and the potential to change the world, or to at least help people on their path. You know, it's going to be a form of service to your community. So there you go. Those are the two things that people most regret when they cross over. And I want to know, how did this message impact you? Did you have any aha moments? Did this inspire you and encourage you to make amends with someone, or to spend more time with your family and the people that are important to you? Has it given you the inspiration you need to think about your purpose a little bit more? And if so, what came out of that? I would love to hear that. So if you'd like to share your story with us, please put it in the comment section down below. And I'd also like to encourage you to get involved in the comment section, because this channel is also meant to be your community. I want you guys to be able to talk and interact with each other and inspire and encourage and motivate. That's what we're here for, guys. So make use of this platform. Talk to each other, inspire, encourage, share your stories, be brave about it, have the courage, because there are people here who will hopefully motivate, uplift, and inspire you too. You don't have to go through this world alone. You really don't. We're on a journey together, and I hope these videos are helping you to realize that. If you'd like to learn more about me, you can visit my website at guidingechoes.com, and if this is your first time watching one of my videos, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to this channel. Here on this channel, I love to talk about spiritual things such as angels, the afterlife, consciousness, and of course, self-improvement, because who doesn't want to improve on themselves, right? So if that's up your alley, and I know it is, be sure that you hit that subscribe button and also hit that little bell icon so you can be notified when I release new videos in the future. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.